this video. We've completed the revamp of the 600-gallon Asian jungle, fixed the aquascape of the 750 Malawi tank, and we're adding all the Peacocks and Haps. We're less than 30 days away from the Keystone Clash, so if you're going to be there, I'll see you there. And if you have a sticker, send it to me. My P.O. box is in my About on the YouTube channel. I'll put you on the sticker wall with all these other cool folks. And I finally decided what I want to do with the tanks that are going in the place where Megadesk used to be. And I almost forgot, we're fiberglass in the 1,200-gallon Lake Tanganyika tank. Let's go! Well, I got the scape close in the first re-aquascape of the 600-gallon Asian jungle, but not all the way, not exactly what I wanted, and I kept sticking in me like, I know, I kind of have a vision, and I was looking through the wood out in the shed, and now I've got it to what I was looking for. So we've got another sort of arch here, really creating that deep cavern back there where we can see the fish going all the way to the back, and that's sort of the lower one too. And then we come up above, we have the same thing but further back, so higher and further back in the aquarium to help accentuate the 4 feet front to back. We still have the wraparound on the right side, but then over here on the left side, we've created the same lower overhang in the front and then a taller one in the back, though not as tall. But now we've got that deep cavern over on the left side as well, and we've now fixed up over here on the left, we've got structure that's going up high into the aquarium, almost to the top there, and that's creating an area for the fish to swim around in the back. And this is what I was looking for in the first aquascape, and it's finally here. There's gonna be a little bit of plants and everything I'm gonna add to the top of the structures up there, but for the most part, you know, this is the look I was going for. And again, the main aspect is it pulls the fish all over the tank. There are, you know, there's fish all the way in the back, constantly swimming both around the centerpiece. Actually, that's one thing I forgot. The centerpiece, we've got this elevated. We've created a cave root system underneath with a new piece of wood, and then we just elevated everything up with the plants coming, you know, close to the surface of the water. But again, so we've created the fish swimming inside those roots, going around the centerpiece, you know, through the caverns, through the back, and then up and over through all these arches. So just created a ton of structure here in the middle. We already had a ton of structure on the right and the left with the true jungle here in the front. But what it's done is it's spread the fish out everywhere. No matter how long you look at this tank, there's just fish popping out of different spots that you haven't seen before. They're all clustered around the different structure. It's just awesome. Yeah, and I mean, barbs and rasbora and the hill trout, everything, like perfect fish for this tank to swim aggressively, or not aggressively, but swiftly, you know, actively swimming in and out of all this structure. Pretty darn awesome. This I'm happy with. It just needs a few more plants because it is a jungle after all, right? So unless I've missed something, we are done with all the woodworking on the 1,200-gallon Lake Tanganyika tank. Let's see. Let me take you inside the tank and we'll show you what we just got done. So I just vacuumed it out and everything, but what we did is we finished up the filter box here, so you can see how obviously the filter box has to come up higher than the overflow here, so that the water will come up and channel out here. And obviously you can see here the water is, you know, it's going to be blocked off, it's going to come into here, and then over here we went ahead and made a channel so the water can spill out over here and come down this other side as well. So we took some 2x on its edge, got that all screwed and glued in there, and of course we're gonna fiberglass all of that. You can see where we ended off. We'll take that all the way up. We will fiberglass the top, the transition here, and then of course we will fiberglass every single seam, you know, every corner, everything. So it'll all be completely fiberglassed and then painted, of course, and everything. So the filter box from a wood standpoint is done. We have a whole lot of fiberglass work to go, but before we do that, we have some fill work. So we have the plywood screwed on the front, so we've got to fill these seams, screw holes, seam over here, and then I need to go back on the existing seams and fill anything that, like a little bit of cracks here and a little bit of a, as it dried, it basically left a few little gaps and everything, so we'll finish just filling that And like I said, it's tank is all vacuumed out and everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here and do a bunch of fill work, and then we are gonna start lots and lots of fiberglassing. So I've been waiting for this day for a long time. We've been growing those Peacocks and Haps out for quite a while now, and today is finally the day that they get moved over into the Lake Malawi tank, the 750 gallon behind me. But before we move them over, we're going to go ahead and fix the aquascape. We had a little bit of a crumble. I got a few more rocks I'm going to add, and maybe I'll switch out the milk crate that's in there with a different one, a little slightly different rockscape to make it more stable, because obviously these little fish didn't knock it over. I just did a bad job of stacking rocks, so we're going to fix that today. And of course, before I jump in there, I'm going to pump out, I don't know, 400 gallons or so I can just wait around instead of swimming around while I'm doing the work. And I figured I'd take this time to answer a question I get a lot, which is, you know, how do you take care of these big aquariums? Well, I mean, today's a great example. I need to change the aquascape around, and I do it just like anybody else. You get a 6-foot ladder, a big pump out 400 gallons of water, you climb inside the tank, and you do the aquascape. I mean, it's just like any other tank, really. So that's all there is to it. So when I say that's all there is to it, you might think, what's he talking about? But in fairness, in my fish room, it's normal. I realize it's not everywhere, but I mean, honestly, how many tanks do I have that you can work on that you don't have to climb inside? Not too many. So there's a lot of them, but another one of the great things about huge aquariums is when you're having to pump out 400 gallons of water to mess with the aquascape, it gives you plenty of time to work on your next massive aquarium, like a, I don't know, 7 or 6 foot by 6 foot cube aquarium that's going to make the saltwater people happy. In fact, we got 2 new tanks for the saltwater people. But guess what? We have 3 new tanks for the freshwater people. I think we'll make everybody happy. All right, back to work. Okay, we got the channel back, and we can't see really any of the crate back there, though I think a couple little rocks in the top would do good. If we swing over here to the right side, can't see any crate there. And let's swing up top, and you can get an idea of how far back that really is, that 5 feet. So we have a hole in the top, and we have a hole on each side, so fish can swim through there, down in there, out over here. Basically all underneath all that rock is all milk crate. There's holes everywhere, areas for these fish to go. So, all right, I can easily come back and put some small rocks in here, because from the top I can reach over and just do this right here with the water. So I'll fill in this little gap here and this gap over here once I've got everything filled back up. Alrighty, looking good. Alright, so filling it up, but I always like to get a little bit of footage on these really deep tanks with the water level down, so you can just appreciate, you know, how massive they are, how far back it goes. And it's a good thing that I got the water heater over there changed, because I've been doing a lot of water changes here with the 750 and the 600 gallon. And we also have a big water change we're going to have to do on the 4500. It's a little sneak peek for anyone who goes this far in the video, because we're going to be making a change, a very significant change to the 4500 for some future fish. So this took a lot of going back and forth. I have my 3-foot cube tank here, and you can see there is essentially slightly less than a 6 by 6 foot cube foundation that I have down there. None of that is connected or anything, and it's not painted or all that, but I wanted to get a feel for how I wanted the layout to be with these tanks. So I have these doors here need to be open. I thought about putting those on sliders, all these different things. I thought about putting this tank somewhere else, making this tank really large and have it come over here, have it be thinner so it doesn't block the door, and longer. You name it. I pretty much think I've thought of everything, but I really, really wanted a massive cube aquarium, so I kept coming back to this, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build the, we're just gonna call it a 6 by 6 by 3 cube aquarium. So that's probably gonna be somewhere if I gotta take a guess, I don't know, what's that, 750, 850 gallons, something like that? Somewhere in that range, but at any rate, it's gonna be an awesome tank. And these tanks are also both going to be saltwater, and that means we're gonna change something up over on the other side of the aquarium basement. So the 1,500 gallon system, which is the 265 in-wall, and the 600 gallon reef slope that's connected to it, there's the in-wall tank up there, and they're all connected together with the big 700 gallon refugium down there. So this is currently saltwater, and everything in these setups is going into the lagoon aquarium, which is right there, that 2,000 gallon beast right there. So that's going to open up the 265 in wall, the 600 reef slope, and the refugium there. So this system here is going to go freshwater, since we're doing those other ones salt over there. So all the salt's going to be together, and pretty much once you leave that side of the fish basement, again, there's still 2 freshwater tanks in there, but once you come to the other side and out to the annex, it's all freshwater. All right, bucket full of water, tank is draining, and it is time to get these Peacocks and Haps over to their new 750 gallon tank. I think they're gonna love it. I know that I'm gonna love the contrast in colors and shapes and everything. And again, these guys are still maturing. They're gonna look quite a bit different when they get their adult colorations, but they are heading home, getting the big upgrade. And this is actually an end of an era for this 315 gallon tank. So this is a tank I built as a demonstration tank on how to build tanks, and I've just been using it as a grow out tank for a while, but I'm going to go back to using my tubs for the big fish and my my little tanks for the small fish for quarantine and grow out, and I'm going to be taking this down. Of course, I'll preserve the glass for another build, but we have a lot of space over here to put a nice long 8-10 foot tank, which was always the idea here. Also not something quite that doesn't come out this far, because we have a mini split up there. We need to be able to access that. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking a long riverscape maybe. We'll see. All right, we got everybody in the bucket, and we're just gonna put them all in at once. So we're gonna bring them up here, over the top and in, and then we'll I'll set the camera up over here to the side, and we'll see if we can get any shots of them in their first few seconds in their new home. Okay, so I see a couple of peacocks right there, and one of the haps, larger hap over there, a peacock. All right, let me go ahead and throw some food in here to keep the Imbuda busy while the new guys get settled in. And between all that rock work and the other guys being preoccupied with food, hopefully they'll get settled in nice and quick. So I did a nice big feeding there, keep everybody preoccupied, keep stomachs full, keep aggression down, let everybody settle in. This should keep these guys busy. Oh, we got another one holding babies there. But yeah, keep all these guys busy grazing down here. And of course we got stuff in the water column too. A little bit for everybody. And yeah, at least for the time being, they're all preoccupied. It's funny how all the fish just come out of the, I was gonna say the woodwork, but the rock work. You know, there's just so much space inside that rock work. It's just crazy how for every fish you see out here, there's probably the same amount inside the rock work though. I mean, a lot of them are smaller, but you'll see big fish just emerge out of there as well, and they can swim through everywhere. It's definitely pretty awesome. So I don't want to give away the surprise on what's going to be in this 3x3 cube or what's going to be in the 6x6 cube, other than to say they are going to be saltwater. But what I want to tell you about all the new builds going forward is I have a little more time to dedicate to the channel now, so I'm going to take advantage of that by adding content. So the videos I currently make, like this one here, I consider like a vlog style video. I'm walking you through all the projects I'm working on, the progress of tanks and everything like that, and we're going through it together, and I'm showing you the progression of the fish basement. But with all the new builds, I'm going to film everything twice. So I'm going to keep filming like I do right now. So if you'd like to see the progressions of the build, nothing's going to change. There's going to be more content than ever. You're not losing anything, but I'm going to film it a second time in high detail where I show all the steps. So for all the folks who might want to build something like this, or build something smaller, and the same techniques that they apply to things much bigger, much smaller, different shapes, doesn't matter. Every build, I'll also have a build series with the video where we go into detail on all the decisions that are made in the build, like why did I do the supports this way or that way. I mean, you see me build tanks lots of different ways. Why is it stacked sometimes? Why is it framed sometimes? Why is it a combo? All those sorts of things. So we're going to get videos for every build, going through the whole build in detail. And then also other videos I want to start doing is I want to start putting out some knowledge videos. So I've been keeping fish for a really long time. I've had not quite anything like this, but I've had some pretty serious fish rooms in the past. I have a lot of experience with certain things. So what I want to do is I want to put out videos giving you all the knowledge I have on those certain things. So it'll be, let's say for example, I put out a video on keeping peacock bass in the home aquarium. I have a lot of experience there. Or keeping Oscars, or let's say refugium style filtration techniques, whatever it might be. Any area of the hobby that I have a lot of deep knowledge, that I can show you video of my actual thing running, that I built, that's working, that's doing the job, and I can give you my, again, deep knowledge on that subject. Nothing where it's like, oh, I've kept this fish for 2 months. We're talking, I've kept Oscars for 40 years. I've kept peacock bass for 20 years, I've kept marine sharks for 30 years, So it's like, I want to give that kind of deep knowledge. It's going to be all over the place because it's only going to be in areas where I have that deep knowledge. Like when it comes to, say, breeding guppy lines for coloration, I just know the basics, So I would never put out a video like that because I'm not an expert on that. And the thing is, you don't get all your content from just me, you get it from all the fish channels. So what I want to do is I want to add to that community of knowledge all the things that I know really well. So there'll be those kinds of videos coming out as well. And again, not at the expense of the normal videos. Just these are new things I'm adding on. So, I can't tell you when they'll come out because it's extra, work I'm doing. So I just work on it, and when it gets done, I'll put it out. Or, maybe we'll take a poll and maybe I'll make a bunch of them and then we'll have them come out, on some sort of cadence, whatever you guys prefer. For me, once it's made, however we want to handle it is fine as far as getting it out there. But yeah, so that's just some of the changes coming to the channel. Hopefully that's all positive changes for you guys because it's just more of what you currently get and some new things that are, hopefully net adds to the hobby and both of your guys' entertainment experience of watching the videos, but also, more importantly, more of a knowledge transfer. So, if somebody wants to build an aquarium, a wood aquarium like I do in the future, they're going to have a bunch of videos that walk them through the whole thing. So, and the rest of us, we can just follow along and see the big steps and see these ecosystems come to life. So my favorite time of the build, fiberglassing. Not as bad as it used to be with the new materials. It goes a lot better, but still a hell of a process. Got to have the respirator, the gloves, all that good stuff. But this is the thing that makes these tanks, bulletproof. Knock on wood. We're going to have fiberglass, not only all the seams, but I'm going to go ahead and fiberglass the entire inside of the tank, and two layers on the seams, 1 layer on the flats, and then 3 layers on the very bottom, and the bottom seams as well. Alright, I got a lot of work ahead of me, so let's go. Well, this is going to be a tough video to title because there's just so many things going on in this video, and all cool stuff. We're making progress here, the 1,200 gallon behind me. Fiberglass has started. The next time you see this tank, who knows, maybe we installing glass, but we're going to do a big update video on finishing out this build for the Tank tank. Looking forward to this one big time. I know a lot of you guys are too. I'm going to start on that massive 6x6 cube in there. That's sort of a personal pet project of mine. I just can't wait to build a cube tank like that. I've always wanted one. But don't get me wrong, we're doing the lagoon aquarium first. I'm just, the way it works is a lot of times I need multiple projects to work on so that while, one thing is curing or this or that, I can go to the other thing, So I like to move around, bounce around. as you guys know. So anyway, but that lagoon aquarium, that's getting done, and well, you saw from the video, there's so much stuff coming. It's going to be a fun tank building season this fall and winter. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Man, I got to get out of here and put this mask back on. This curing fiberglass is killing me.